Hi everyone, this is Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. How are you today, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? Huge shout out to you. So I'm actually going to be traveling today, so this will be a reasonably quick reading. Some of you out there will be saying, yay, quick reading. Others will be going, oh no, I love the longer readings. Anyway, whichever way it goes, you get plenty of both. So I couldn't let the day go by without taking a look at Rupert Murdoch. Now, as many of you know, he is an Australian by birth. He cut his teeth. He comes from a media kind of dynasty type family, which very much had its roots in the 60s and 70s and really came to prominence in the 80s and 90s and, of course, beyond. It's a bit like... in Australia, it's a bit like a rising star, and then it's now on it's a waning moon or a waning energy in Australia for Murdoch. Although he has managed to get a monopoly on Australia's media, unfortunately, through various deals with governments and knocking out the competitors. I hate to say it, but I actually. It was when I left school, which was a long, long time ago. I actually worked for him, his Masthead News Corp, as some of you might be familiar with, and his print journalism. His main paper in Australia was the Daily Telegraph, and in fact, that's where he cut his teeth on this sensationalism and discovered pretty quickly, I think, that clickbait, sensationalism, got readers, brought the dollars in, but more importantly, brought the power in. This is a man that's very concerned, or was. He's very old now. I guess he still is. He's passed that on to his to one of his sons, Lachlan. Very, very concerned about power. And he used that power over the years to literally back different prime ministers, different parties. And indeed, they called him the Kingmaker in Australia. Now, fast forward, he diversified into the UK, very much Fleet Street type of mentality over in the UK. And then, of course, to America, and then went from print and into television. He hasn't been that successful online, certainly in Australia. He's got too many competitors, but in the television market, that Fox News, Sky News in Australia, I think in the UK, it's something like Sky News, very much the paid television model. Now, what's unfortunate in the US is that Fox News, as I understand it, is part of the suite of cable television channels. And if you've got cable, you automatically get Fox. Well, in Australia, certainly where that isn't the case, we have a free-to-air type television channels, and we also have the paid subscriptions. Murdoch is really struggling here with his Sky News. It's almost as if he's a dinosaur from a previous age in Australia. One thing Australians are very good at is that we cut to the chase really quickly, and when something's no longer working, we toss it out. And in a way, Murdoch has been tossed out at the last elections, Australian elections. He backed, again, the Kingmaker, Scott Morrison, who received that medal of whatever it was, friend of the US from Trump. And is accused of doing some pretty terrible things, swearing himself into cabinet positions without anybody else knowing, including the cabinet minister. Anyway, Murdoch backed Morrison and completely ran a hostile, terrible campaign against the opposition leader, Anthony Albanese, at the time. Well, Anthony Albanese won the prime ministership, and Murdoch fell flat on his face. Every election since then, he's attempted to do the same thing, and he falls flat on his face. His anchors are pretty well laughable, except to a hardcore base. Now, that's the kind of base that Well, put it this way, I'm not sure it makes for, if you were to sit opposite them in a restaurant or a pub, a hotel, it wouldn't make for any more of a conversation than, them trying to ram their views down your throat. And you know what I mean. So in America, we have Dominion. We have him backing the big lie, despite it, knowing that it's a big lie. He has apologised to the trial judge now because he withheld in a discovery process that he had more control than what he did. And many of you are saying, well, he's Australian. What's your take on it? Well, he hasn't lived in Australia for a very long time. I should point that out. I think he does have dual citizenship now. He must have with America. I'm assuming, although I think his base is in the UK, so maybe he holds that dual citizenship. But he certainly hasn't been or lived in Australia for quite some time. However, I was growing up in his heyday, and I know what drives the man. So many of you have pointed out to me there was an interview with our former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, who was a bit too centralist for Murdoch's liking, and he basically ran a smear campaign, and Malcolm Turnbull's own party removed him from the Prime Ministership midway. Malcolm Turnbull, of course, is being vindicated. This centralist approach is what will get his party, the Conservative Party, out of trouble. But still you have this dominant base not listening, very small minority not capable at this stage of winning a federal election. It's a bit like that in America. So I want to see where this Dominion lawsuit is going. It's the first of many. Dominion ran the voting machines. Smartmatic is also suing. They ran also the voting machines, or hold the software for the voting machines. It's just been a roller coaster ride. I think Murdoch, like the former President Trump, is suddenly being called into account, and it's glorious to watch, folks. It's glorious to watch. Both have done a lot of damage in their lifetimes, including a lot of division and unhappiness within families and friends and communities. So they stand for division. Now, today I'm using the Surrealist Tarot. I've also want to mention I've released another podcast on how you can live a more spiritual life. I will run that through the community channel, the community page on my channel, so you know where to find it. I've got a little story I want to tell you on that about JFK, but I'll leave that for the podcast to do the talking. Meanwhile, let's get down to some tarot cards. They say the Dominion trial has been delayed by a day, and this is because Murdoch is trying to settle. I haven't checked the news this morning, but let's see if he's currently in negotiations to settle with Dominion. Now, it's a $1.6 billion claim. Years ago, I thought Fox News would be broken up, maybe to avoid liability in future claims. But anyway, let's see. Is Murdoch trying to settle with Dominion? Is Murdoch trying to settle with Dominion? What am I seeing here? Is Murdoch trying to settle? He certainly doesn't want the performance aspect of the trial. It's actually doing him damage. So we've got the Five of Pentacles. They're worried about loss, basically. Is he trying to settle? And the Eight of Swords. They're very worried. Very, very worried. Sorry, but two terrible cards. They're worried about the carnival aspect of the trial, more truths coming out, but also they're worried about the monetary loss, because if they lose on Dominion, they likely will go the same way with Smartmatic, and then there'll be a host of other suits. If Dominion is proved, if they peddled this big lie and people got hurt, then think of the scale of suits. And the same goes for Trump. I said civil suits will dog this man till the day he dies. Ten of Pentacles is at the foundation, so they're really worried about loss. I think they've been advised to try and settle, but let's keep going. Queen of Cups, the cat literally is out of the bag now. Murdoch is in the firing line because we now know he has direct day-to-day type of control. The big lie is in the sky. These Surrealist cards are awesome, very interesting. The Seven of Swords, this is crossroads all the way through, but these are also cutting shears, like a barber would use. So it's really, I talked about malice, the difficulty in proving malice. Well, we've got enough now. We've heard enough to know that this continuing to, slit the throat, of Dominion and everyone else in a wanton way has to be done with malice, because it's certainly not being done with kindness, is it? The Eight of Pentacles, so they are trying, his lawyers are negotiating, I feel. The Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. It is our wish that he has to pay for his sins, so to speak. Eight of Wands, things moving very, very quickly. Okay, Two of Wands, something coming to fruition in time, and we get the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this is his plan B. Basically, he is trying to settle at the moment so that he can retain control. The Emperor, it's all about control and power to him, and to lose to Dominion would erode his power, not to mention his bank balance. So I think he wants to end this, because if he loses the Knight of Swords, the truth coming out, interesting, the truth coming out, the eggs have been broken. It's an inevitability that more will come out in the trial that he doesn't want to come out. So it's inevitable that he wants to end this in the best way he can. But these are tough negotiations, I feel, because Dominion has a very strong case. So I think he is trying to settle. I guess the next question is, will it go to trial, or will Dominion settle? Will Dominion settle? Let's see what I can pick up clairvoyantly. They're in the negotiations. I got the word ransom. They are holding Murdoch to ransom to a certain extent, as well they can. Will they settle? Will they settle? Will someone signing something? Will Dominion settle with Murdoch? I'm not sure what that is. It's like a treaty. Page of Pentacles. It's not a king or a queen. I think the money is the sticking point right now. Right now, I don't think they're going to settle at all, but that's in the here and now. I don't know about the future. Queen of Cups, they certainly hold that cup, don't they? It's very much in their favour. The Page of Cups, bombshells, continual bombshells. The Page of Swords in the sky. These aren't big, major court cards. That's more truth coming out. The Seven of Cups. This is smoke screens, difficult choices. Will I choose the right pathway? I sincerely hope they don't. Now we've got the Four of Swords. That's retreat, wounded in battle in the here and now. But that's how they've got Murdoch over the barrel here, the Eight of Swords. That's, a lot of worry here. Five of Cups in the hopes and fears, regret and loss. That's their loss, Dominion's loss. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is the money. It's also a yes card, and the Justice card. They'll get what they want here. Through the law, and there will be a contract signed. We've got the Lovers here. That's like the cult energy and the isolation here. Maybe they're starting to realise in this power hungry way that their audience amongst the base might be high, but the greater majority of people really I would go so far as to say can't stand Fox News. Now, so Dominion is going to win either way. Whether they settle or whether they don't, they're going to get their payout, and that'll be that. So let's have a look at, and I think when I read on this before, I think that was the case. Murdoch, of course, could always appeal it, but somehow I'm not sure it does even get to trial. I'll just check on that again. Just 3 cards, will it get to trial? Dominion get their way. 9 of Wands, guardrails. The 3 of Pentacles, working behind the scenes. The lawyers in talks. And a heavy decision to make. New starts. The 3 of Swords. The Devil. They shouldn't trust Murdoch, is what I'm seeing. You know what? They might, I don't know, they might reach, well, they certainly win their payout. They certainly get a payout. Because they've got the goods on them. They've got the goods of the lie, the big lie. They've literally got Murdoch on the ropes. I'm trying to find a major arcana here. The Hierophant, the courts, the High Priestess, secrets being revealed, endings and beginnings, and fortune favours the brave. Okay, as of this moment, they're in settlement. They do get a payout. I think it does. It's not clear at this time. I keep seeing that contract being signed by them. Yeah, okay. Well, it's not clear at this time. I think they get what they want, but whether that's through trial or whether that's through a settlement, there's definitely settlement negotiations going on now. I kind of get that the court awards, at the end of the day, whether it's through a settlement or any other way, the court's involved in awarding something to Dominion. Okay, so make of that what you will. Let's have a look at why Murdoch does what he does. Because we talked about power. We talked about a way of making money, greed. We talked about the more, just the sky would have been the limit for Murdoch. He's a driven, ambitious man, very much living in the 3D world, very much a product of the patriarchy, very much his father's son, as is Lachlan. So let's see why if Fox News didn't exist, would America be in the state that it's in? If Fox News didn't exist, would America be in the state that it's in? 2 of Pentacles, crossroads, decisions. 3 of Cups, support. Okay, so there's division at the heart of all of this. Perhaps Murdoch exploited a division because the unity wasn't that strong in many ways, and money saw a way through the door. Big money. It still sees a way through the door. So the Hanged Man pausing something, perhaps it wouldn't have been so bad so quickly. The 8 of Pentacles, yeah, it's like a model. It's like they were at the forefront of a model of news that is only about the money. And of course, where there's money, there's power. The 5 of Swords is division, whether that's existing, making it worse, and really playing into those that are divided in their minds and their hearts. It's like they offered them an allure in a way. The 5 of Wands again, and that was an abuse. That was an abuse of power, and it was almost like they hoped They hoped to find these people. They hoped to reach these people because not only did it give them ratings, money, advertisers, it also gave them a lot of power with the money system in America. And where you've got that, you've got the political system. So the divide, what was once, what's the word? A lot of space between politics and the big money, that moneyed type of donor and the media. It's become narrower and narrower, and they kind of led the charge through a deliberate strategy. They know what they're doing. It's a particular model here. These are kings. This is Murdoch being the kingmaker. But I also see the current maturity that is approaching as we move through these kind of divided political times. There's a maturity about things with the star card here. That the universe has its own strategy. Humanity has its own strategy, that we are all looking at things in a different way. A lot of major arcana are telling me, and it's around this King of Cups. Whenever the King of Cups turns up, I see, rather than lose one's head, the head is certainly on one's shoulders. And so I don't see a future for the model that Fox News brings through, and they're sort of on the chopping block. What happens to them as a result of their lies and the people that they hurt, whether it's through defamation or like a liability, a public liability thing, people dying as a result, it's just going to get worse. And so literally the courts are going to force, and of course then social media will follow suit, because they could get sued too. It's sort of going to force a bit of sober thinking here. So let's have a look at the future of Fox News before I go. The future of Fox News. Show me the future of Fox in America. Show me the future of the Fox network channel, Murdoch's Fox in America. Show me the future, please. Oh yeah, so I'm seeing the Nine of Wands. He's going to be putting more and more guardrails up. You're going to see more and more accountability on Fox now. Watch out, Tucker Carlson. Did you notice he didn't say much? He just let 45, the ex-president just rave on while he just sat there. It's almost like they're giving him I don't want to say they're letting him put his foot in it. Okay, so what's the future of Fox? Show me Fox. What's the future? Oh, yeah. Here's the sword of truth. They're going through some things. So we've got a new start. We have the courts providing, as I said, lawmakers in the future might even, this person has almost something around their neck, speaking, even though it's the bravery of speaking out. I think lawmakers in the future might have something to say here. We've got the Tower card, so there's a lot of misfortune coming to Fox. We have justice will be done by the time we get to this reading. Many court cases or many settlements have taken place. The Two of Swords, it's a crossroads for this network. I couldn't be happier. The Ace of Swords is what I saw when I opened up, and this is the truth. The truth is going to bring the new start. Everyone out there who peddles a lie, who knowingly peddles lies, it's literally justice is catching up. The Ten of Wands, right now they're not doing so well. They're carrying a lot of lawsuits, a lot of actions, a lot of I don't know. There's internal stuff going on. There could be lawsuits that we're not seeing, perhaps from staff, for example, because the cat's out of the bag. The Queen of Cups has turned up here. And then you've got the Ace of Cups and the hopes and fears. People just want to move on from what they've had to offer. So we've got the Two of Pentacles at the outcome. They've got some Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles. They've got some real decisions to make. And we've got the Three of Cups. So that's the circles of support, 3 people, and the isolation. Okay, so what this is showing me is that at the end of the day, the twos, so heavy decisions to make, and a shrinking audience here, and they're very much isolated from the norms in society, from standards. We have the Wheel of Change here, and let's see, the Eight of Cups, loss. So the wheel's turning in the loss for them. They have to remake themselves, basically, at the end of the day. That's going to cost them money. They're going to lose money. They're going to lose through suits. They're going to lose through settlements. But they're also, as has happened in Australia, we're moving on. So, yeah, I just want to pull, I know I said this would be quick, one last throw on why Murdoch does what he does. The Kingmaker. Why does Murdoch do what he does? He's 90-something now. You'd think he'd pull his head in. Why does Murdoch do what he does? I see here, like his boat is sailing in, it's like the Grand Canyon. It's a very, very narrow waterway and the cliffs are on either side. There's not a lot of ways for him to go now. Like his passage is becoming more and more difficult because of the model that it's based on. The rowers can't even row the boat because they're hitting the sides of the cliff. As I said, that's happened in Australia. The Kingmaker has lost his power. Okay, so let's have a look at why does Murdoch do what he does? Why does Murdoch do what he does? That clairvoyance doesn't augur well for him. I think he's getting toward the end of his, well, obviously getting toward the end of his time here. Three of Pentacles. His boat cannot go much further. The Three of Pentacles, money. The Empress, abundance. So his major motivator, this is for entertainment purposes only, is money. And the Fool, we've got new starts here. His era is drawing to an end. Four of Cups in the past, disappointed but always having a card up his sleeve. The Hanged Man, pausing and suspending. He literally wanted to stop progress as well because he knew his boat would get more and more difficult to navigate based on the model. He's not a fool. He went into extremism for a reason, because of the need to get an edge with the advertisers. Same sort of thing as what Trump did. King of Wands. They reinvent themselves in the worst possible way as they age, instead of really coming back to humanity, their humanity. They reinvent themselves in the worst possible ways. It's the Kingmaker, of course, and I think the Six of Wands, victory. It's very important for him to win, and he's prepared to do whatever he can to win. It's a toxicity. He's addicted to winning, basically. Page of Swords, the truth in the hopes and fears is always known. The truth will come out. It's like he fears that, though, because look, it's a mirror image of him. And the Five of Swords is abuse of power. This for entertainment purposes only. He will do whatever it takes to win. And we've got the Three of Swords Facebook icon there. Loss, betrayal. And the Ace of Wands, that's his plan. Literally, he succeeded in dividing America because that's exactly what he wanted to do. And that's how he wins. That's how he thinks he wins. The Six of Cups, that's how he's won in the past. Clandestine, bringing things up from the surface, generating the emotions, the lies. He's very skilled at doing exactly what Trump does. If you hold the two of them up, they're pretty much a mirror image of each other. But his time is through. And we have that Ace of Swords right there, stopping him from going much further. His day is done. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.